Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make your very own Pocky charm, and this includes the Pocky box and Pocky stick. So the first thing you're going to need is an image printed out on the computer of a Pocky box, and you're also going to need some red polymer clay, some tan polymer clay, and some brown polymer clay, and you can also use air dry clay or cold porcelain if you prefer. So the first thing you're going to need to do is roll out your chocolate covered clay, and then roll out your tan colored clay into a snake that is a little shorter than the chocolate colored. And you're going to need to then stick them together and make sure the bond between the two is really good so they won't fall apart. And just roll out the between each of the seam thing, and it should stick together better, because it'd really stink if you spent all your time on something and it just broke, which would be terrible. So just try to make it as perfect as you can, because obviously you want your clay charm to look professional and just awesome. And next you're going to need to get yourself an eye pin and stick the eye pin into your clay charm. Try not to ruin the Pocky stick at all, but that's kind of difficult, so you're going to need to fix the Pocky after you roll it out again, because the eye pin kind of screws it up. And there's my Pocky charm. Next you're going to need to take your red clay and roll it out on your pasta machine, or hand roll it. I prefer pasta machine. And take your image and place it on top of the red clay. Don't press down too hard though, because the Pocky label might stick, and you do not want to keep the Pocky label on your clay right now. You have to wait till after you bake that. So what you're going to need is a blade to cut around the Pocky image, so the clay remains the same size as your image does, so your box looks a lot better and perfected. And I also recommend that you put your red clay in the freezer or refrigerator for 5 minutes before you do this, so the image doesn't stick, and so that colors won't bleed into your image, because red clay is it stains a lot, and that's kind of frustrating. So there's my little box, and now you're going to need to get an eye pin and stick the eye pin into your red box. And I recommend on your eye pin, take a pair of pliers and twist the end of it so the eye pin won't come out, or you can also use a head pin. I'm not a fan of head pins though, because I epically fail at just using them. So next you're going to want to bake your Pocky charm and box for 15 minutes at 275 degrees Fahrenheit in your oven, or if you have a toaster or something you could use that. Then you're going to need to get some Sculpey gloss glaze, or just any brand of glaze that you like to use for your clay charms, and paint some onto the top of your box. But make sure it's not too thick, because if you paint it on too thick, then goo and stuff will come out of the sides of underneath the image, and that's just not good looking. It's not clean. So then you're going to place your image onto the box and press down really well, because you want the image to stay secure on there and not to peel up after you wear the charm. And there's my Pocky box, and it turned out really well. So you want yours to end up looking something like this, where the sides and stuff are all even on the box and no gloss is spilling from underneath the image. Next you're going to need to do a second layer on the Pocky box so the image doesn't get destroyed, and just make the image, the layer on the image, really thin, so there's not streaks or anything, and you just want it to look nice because it's the final coat. And I recommend using a bigger brush to do this though, because so the streaks in the resin won't be as noticeable. And you also want to go around the side of the image and paint that too, so the image stays down better. And And there is the glazed Pocky box, and you just want to let this sit for probably about 6 hours to let the gloss all finish drying and so it won't be damaged. And you can also gloss over your Pocky stick. So that's how to make a Pocky stick and a Pocky box. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And you can also go on my channel page and request some more tutorials. So bye, everybody.